What's going on, guys? We're doing a new fantasy draft video today. In this one, we're actually going to be picking only from the 7 Canadian teams. Also, guys, if you're wondering why I only uploaded a couple videos this past week, I was actually on vacation out in Eastern Canada. Went to New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, then Newfoundland. If you guys are following me on social media, I'll have Instagram and Twitter on screen right now. You probably would have saw some pics. Probably going to still post a few more as well, but really enjoyed my time out there. Now I'm going to get back onto the videos. I figure we'll use the winner of the North Division for this. That, of course, is the Montreal Canadiens. Their team name, I think, is also pretty fitting. It is a fantasy draft, so division and ratings do not matter. On mode off, fantasy draft, of course, is turned on. Sorry, Cup will be on after the draft happens. During the draft, it doesn't matter. Computer trade's also on, but that is it. Alright, guys, so the draft just loaded in, and the first pick it gave us was number 3. And honestly, I really like this pick, as it basically means we'll be getting one of Draisaitl or Matthews. Normally, I'd randomize it a bunch, but I think pick number 3 is actually kind of perfect for us. Ideally, we're picking number 1 to get McDavid, but I think it giving us number 3 off the bat is kind of meant to be. So I'll keep the 3rd overall pick, Draisaitl 3. I think I gotta go over Draisaitl if he is there, and he is. Wow, McDavid number 1, McKinnon number 2. Matthews, of course, would also be a pretty nice pick, but Draisaitl's a 93, Matthews is a 92. Draisaitl's got franchise, Matthews high elite. Matthews is the goal scorer, but again, Draisaitl 3, it was meant to be. We're taking him there with a 3rd overall pick. We're not picking number 29 in the 2nd round. Seth Jones just got taken there by the Leafs. I know a lot of Leafs fans thought maybe Dubas would make a deal for him. So Bergeron, Kopitar, Stamkos, we can't take any of those guys. Blake Wheeler, though, is available for us. Taylor Hall used to be available until a 1-for-1 trade happened. Jeff Petry's there, Pavelski. Carey Price is a guy I think we should get as our goalie just because, you know, there's only so many goalies. Hellebuck as well we could take too. Okay, looking at the players though, I think we gotta take Wheeler because then it's going to start getting pretty bad. So we'll go Wheeler here, and then hopefully we can actually get Hellebuck with our next pick. Same rating as Price, higher potential. Let's see, Ekman Larson is on the Canucks now, so that wouldn't be too bad to get our number 1 defenseman there. Shea Weber as well later on because he's older. Wouldn't be too bad. Darnell Nurse. Let's see, Price is there, same with Hellebuck. Will they both be there by the time we pick at number 4? Probably not. And then we gotta go to, like, who's our best goalie? Anderson's no longer a Leaf. I don't even know. I guess that's your Demko, which isn't too bad. I feel like we need defensemen, so I'm gonna go Darnell Nurse here. Same rating as Ekman Larson, but he has that medium potential. Again, I'm trying to be smart here about the players that will be available to us. Jeff Petry just got taken, which kind of sucks. Giordano no longer a Calgary Flame, but Shea Weber is still there, and he should be there for at least a couple more rounds. Let's see, goaltending-wise, wow, Price, Hellebuck, both gone. Demko's still there. Okay. Jack Campbell's still there as well. We don't get one of the elite goalies, but that's okay. I think I'm going to wait on Weber. JT Miller, Brendan Gallagher, both solid forward options. You also got Jake Muzzin there. Again, not a lot of defensive options for us. I think I'm going to take Jake Muzzin because we have to really kind of round up this team the best we can. 7 teams to pick from. Toronto, Montreal, Ottawa, Winnipeg, Calgary, Edmonton, Vancouver. It's not giving us a lot here. Shea Weber is still there. How long can we wait for him? I think probably round 6, round 7. I feel like in terms of the goaltenders, Campbell should be there for a little bit. Demko's already taken because he's got that medium elite potential. So JT Miller, Gallagher, both still there. Alright. And I think I'm going to go Gallagher with our first pick as he's the same rating, but he's got a really good contract. And I feel like the AIGMs will kind of value that a bit more than Miller's. So our next pick, I saw Kadri going back to the Leafs. Weber is still there. I think we can wait one more for him. If Miller's here, which he's not, Tyson Barrie is. He always does very well in the sim as an offensive defenseman. Toffoli would also be nice. Okay, we're going to go Barrie here. And then probably Weber next pick. He is there. I think there's enough forwards left. We get a nice solid top 4D. The bottom pair is not going to be great, but that's okay. So the next pick here, Thomas Tatar. Would have been a nice pick, but of course he signed with the Devils. Mike Hoffman, though, is a Montreal Canadian now. Brody's with the Leafs. Tanev's the Flames. Okay, there's actually a lot of defensemen here. Maybe I did this wrong, getting all the defense early. And wow, Jack Campbell's gone. Peter Mrazek, though, is a Leaf now. And there's not a lot else there in terms of goaltending. Wow. Yeah, so I think I have to take Mrazek here. It's a little early, I think, for an 84 overall goalie, but we need a starting goaltender. Even the backup, honestly, might be tough to get later on. Let's see. TJ Brody is still there. Same with Tanev. Wow, we could have a really good 6 defenseman. The thing is, we have 3 forwards here. We need some more guys. I'm going to take Mike Hoffman. Next pick, number 29. Not a whole lot here in terms of offense. I feel like I maybe should have taken JT Miller over Weber or Barry, but what are you going to do? Let's see. Blake Coleman is a Calgary Flame now. That might not be too bad of a pick. I can't believe this, but we're taking Coleman there, like round number, 10? I think it's going to be our second line center as of now. We got to be able to add some more players here. Not looking as good as I'd hoped, but we do have, some stars on this team. Let's see. Savard's actually a Montreal Canadian now. Do we just go like a crazy defense? I think that might be the move. Let's go David Savard here. Look at this, guys. Duncan Keith's still available, obviously, on the Edmonton Oilers now. I feel like we can probably wait, take him quite late. Or even a guy like Tyler Myers. Paul Stastny will sign with the Jets. He'll be there for a little bit. I'm trying to see Josh Anderson. He'll probably be there for a bit just based on his contract. And I don't think any of the other guys we can even take. So that really sucks. We need forwards, I guess. Our next pick is going to be Josh Anderson just because not a whole lot else out there for us to pick. Number 13 here. Probably going to go to Paul Stastny. Again, just trying to get some forwards on this squad. Jason Spezza, actually. Does he get taken before Stastny? Much better contract, but he's older. He probably does. Let's take Jason Spezza with this pick. Paul Stastny with the next one. So Paul Stastny's still there, guys. Also, I noticed Eric Stahl's available. Now, his last team was Montreal. He's currently a free agent. I feel like he would count because his last team was a Canadian team. Brian Little as well we could take. Tyler Myers for our last defenseman. Same with Keith. So one of those two, Keith and Myers, I think are going to be available for quite a long time. In terms of this next pick, I think Stahl might be the one just because his contract's the best. So he might be gone for Stastny and Little. In terms of these forwards, not really as good as I thought they were going to be, but that's okay. Keith's still there. Stastny, Little. Let's go Stastny. 1 year left. He probably gets taken for Brian Little. And Brian Little is actually next on the list. That worked out well. So we need 2 more forwards, 1 more defenseman, and a goalie. Duncan Keith is there. Tyler Myers is gone. So I think we'll take our 6th and final defenseman in Duncan Keith. Again, the good news is the salary cap does not matter while we're drafting, only after the fact. We're not making any trades, so it really doesn't matter. Joe Thornton we could take as well. He is a Maple Leaf. I don't know if he's re-signed yet, but his last team was the Leafs. And I just checked, guys. Like Eric Stahl, Joe Thornton hasn't signed anyone yet, but last team was Canadian. I think the final forward is not a big deal. Backup goalie is going to be tough. Halak signed with Canucks. That actually works out really well. It looks like there's a lot of average forwards still available, so I'm going to take Halak here, 3 years younger than Mike Smith, to back up Mrazek. That's actually not a terrible tandem. And so our final pick here will be a forward, of course. Who can we take here? Actually, some of the guys I was looking at are gone. That's not good. Lots of defensemen. James Neal was bought out by Edmonton. No one signed him since. Chason lost his contract with Edmonton. No one signed him since. I feel like those 2 guys could count based on our rules. So I don't see anybody else there. Let's go Neal or Chason. Who's going to help us out more? Neal's got a really good shot. Maybe you get him on the second power play. Chason is a power forward, which could really help with chemistry. Plus, Neal got bought out by the Oilers, so he's not coming back. Or Chason simply, his contract's up. Maybe he'll come back really cheap. Because of that, we'll take back Chason instead of Neal. Because I feel like Neal getting bought out. He's 100% no longer an Edmonton Oilers. So there's our team, guys. We'll just send the rest of the draft here. I'll make the lines. I feel like it actually turned out a bit better than I expected. Around pick 6 or so, I was worried for this team, but I think they'll be alright. Alright, guys, so I just finished adding the lines. As you can see there, team status is buyer, which is equivalent to champion. So EA thinks we have a pretty good shot here at the Stanley Cup. And honestly, I feel like we did some pretty good work here making the lines. This is kind of strange. So Thornton Draisaitl Wheeler shows +3, which is pretty good, but it was +5 when I left this screen. Not sure why it's +3 now. That's a weird one. Whatever. So +3, it was +5, I swear. Yeah, I'll show you guys right now. It was +5 before. Gallagher, Coleman, Anderson's a solid second line. We got Stastny, Spezza, Hoffman on the third, Chason, Little, and Stahl on the fourth. Second and fourth line there both get a +1. Defensively, Muzzin, Weber, +3 on the top pair is huge for them. Both basically playing like 90s. Barry, Nurse, the Edmonton pair is the second pair, and they have Keith and Savard on the bottom, getting a +1. Now in net, of course, we have Mrazek starting, Halak backing him up. Special teams here, both get a +1. Wheeler, Thornton, Draisaitl, Barry, Gallagher. It's not a bad power play 1. Thornton is lower rated, but he's got really good passing stats, so I feel like guys like Wheeler, Draisaitl can shoot the puck, hopefully plays well with them. Barry's very good offensive defenseman, should do well on the power play. Second unit there even isn't too bad. The 2 4-mans, I've got Little on this one. He's a bit faster than some of the other 82s we have. In terms of the penalty kill, +3 on the first one. Coleman and Gallagher are both very good 2-way defensemen. Savard, of course, is a shutdown guy. Second unit isn't too bad either. 3-man there's a +1 and a 0. So we have some pretty good defense on this team. Like some solid two-way players. Of course, defense is a strong suit of this team. It's kind of happened that way through the draft. I do want to see quickly if I like re-enter this. Okay, so let's show us +3. So I guess the game was just trolling me. I think I was going to get a +5 on that first line. In regards to the captaincy here, I've got Draisaitl wearing the C as he was our first overall pick. And then Wheeler and Weber there wearing the 2As. Wheeler, of course, captain of the Jets. Weber was captain of the Canadians. I'm not sure what's going to happen this year if he sits out. So far through this preseason, we're 6-0. Gallagher's got 10 points in 6 games, so not too bad at all. See our overall ratings here. 92 offense, 93 defense, 84 goaltending. Honestly, thought our defense would be a bit higher than that, but overall we look like a pretty solid team. Right there you can see Draisaitl's a Montreal Canadian with the C. Definitely weird. Crosby, I almost said Bergeron, is he captain of the Bruins. Alright, so we'll get started with the sim now, guys, and see how this all-Canadian team does in the sim. And actually, guys, before we get started, I have to make one change. The first line only getting a +3 now. I can actually sub in Stastny, and the third line only get a +1, so that's good to see. Also, I noticed Stastny's offensive stats. His hands are almost as good as Thornton's, but his shot's a lot better, so he'll actually be our power play 1 center. Thornton will be power play 2. We'll see if Stastny's going to thrive or not in this new role. Let's get started. Alright, guys, so at the deadline now with a pretty solid record, 35, 22, and 5. I actually didn't see where we were in the division. We're 3rd place, 75 points, 2 behind the Lightning, 6 behind the Bruins. Draisaitl there, over a point per game right now, 32 goals and 33 assists for 65 points. Honestly, not too upset with that. In terms of the wildcard teams, they're both at 70, so we have a pretty decent lead. We should be a playoff team. Obviously not too comfortable yet, but looking pretty good. And after summing the trade deadline, guys, Winnipeg makes a huge trade, getting Landeskog and Brad Hunt for the Canucks for a first-round pick, Nick Robertson and Hagel. We'll see if, the Jets will go on a deep run now or not. And so this is kind of crazy, guys. After the trade deadline, we had only lost 2 games going into the final 2 games, and then we lost both. You can see Capitals and Leafs. So still, 4 losses in the final month and a half, whatever, after the trade deadline. Not too bad. We actually hit 50 wins. We had 26 losses, 6 overtime losses, 106 points, won the division. I'm not sure if we won the conference. We didn't. Flyers had 109. Wow. But still, we win the division. We get to play the Hurricanes, I guess. We had 92. Draisaitl there, just shy of a point per game with 79-82. We'll see how everyone else did on this team. Gallagher, big year for him, 77. Blake Wheeler, 64. Surprisingly, he wasn't also in the 70s. Stastny, 63. So he played pretty well. Ryan Shotgun on that first line with Draisaitl and Wheeler. Gallagher, actually, second line guy, put up 77. He had a really good year. He's also on a lot of PK too. Played Coleman 58, Anderson at 50, Shea Weber 43, actually outscored Tyson Barrie. That's kind of surprising to see. Mike Hoffman, Joe Thornton, okay, Jake Muzzin 37, Duncan Keith. Do you think Darnell Nurse would have more points? This guy's a $9 million defenseman now. Chason Little, Stahl, Savard. Okay, so everyone actually contributed. The only guy with less than 20 points was Savard, who's just a shutdown D-man. Goalie-wise, let's see. Mrazek, pretty good stats, .906 to 2.76. Halak was insane for us. 10-4 and 2 with a .934 and a 1.9. I've seen goalies like this win the Vezina before. I wonder if that might be the case here. Obviously, he was a backup, but the game forgets to basically consider that sometimes. Take a look and see who led the entire league in scoring and what team they're on as well. McDavid on the Sharks, 106. Ovechkin, 100 on the Kings. Malkin there, Scheifele, Marner, Panarin, McKinnon, Laine, Tarasenko. Laine goes back to Columbus. He was playing with Marner. I know some people thought Columbus might offer sheet Toronto to get Marner. And McKinnon actually led with goals. You don't see that too often. McKinnon with the Maurice Richard. Defensively, Yossi on the Preds with 81. Hughes, Carlson, okay. Hamilton there, I was wondering if maybe he's on the Devils or not. And rookie skaters, Kaprizov on the Oilers gets 73. Geez, Caulfield 54. Okay, so pretty realistic, even though obviously everyone's on new teams. We know we finished second in the East. Where do we finish in the entire league? 3rd place behind the Flyers and the Ducks. We'll see if we can play one of them later on in the playoffs. 17, Colorado gets in. And Devils get last. That sucks. 58 points. Not a great year at all for them. Goals for, we actually finished 1st place, 272. And I didn't think our offense was good enough, so that's awesome to see. And then goals against, we were 5th best team in the league. So yeah, pretty good season, I'd say. And like I mentioned, next year you can see we're playing the Carolina Hurricanes. You need to take a look at these lines because obviously we have no idea who we're actually playing against. Teravainen's back on their team. Bergeron, Bailey on the first line. Nyquist, Wenberg, Perron, Donato, Suzuki up to an 86. Wilson there, Atkinson, Shore, Wagner, so not bad forwards. Makar on defense, Truba, Orlov. Okay, so pretty good D. And they got Drieger in net with Lankinen. Not bad goalies. I thought those would be the 2 Seattle goalies, and one of them was the goalie, but Surprisingly, they did not take Lankinen from Minnesota. First round here, Carolina Hurricanes will send the first 2 games at home. 6-5 OT win, 4-2 win. Heading to rally now. 5-2 win. And a 4-3 OT loss. We have to win 1 of the next 3. Pretty good odds. 7-4 win. Okay, there we go. Beat the Hurricanes in 5. So in the second round, guys, we're up against the Tampa Bay Lightning. They have the Maurice Richard Trophy winner Nathan MacKinnon. They got Schwartz and Niederreiter on his wings. Granlund, Couture, Lafreniere on the second line. Lafreniere's now at 85. Gusev, okay, so their bottom 6 isn't the greatest. Defensively, Morgan Rielly, Parayko, Letty Gerard. That's pretty good. Goaltending, Demko. Okay, so they got some good players. I think we have a lot better depth. We definitely, pick those veterans later when other teams are taking prospects. So that gives us a bit of an edge, but they do have Nathan MacKinnon. We'll see how we do against them. 4-3, 4-3 for the first 2 games. Not bad. Head to Tampa now. 5-3 loss, 4-2 loss. That's not good. Hopefully we can keep winning at home here. And we lose game 5, 3-2. Are you kidding me? 2-0 lead. We're now down 3-2. So our season's on the line here with game number 6 in a sim period by period. 1-0, Coleman. 3-1, Wheeler Stahl. 4-1, we hold on, Jake Muzzin. Alright, so we're live. Game number 7 here. Hopefully we can keep this up. Come on, 1-0 lead, Blake Wheeler. 3-0, Coleman, Gallagher. 4-0. We shut out the Lightning there in this game 7. That's awesome to see. So I thought they had all the momentum there, winning 3 straight, but we're somehow able to come back. And with the Washington Capitals now in the Eastern Conference Final. And now in the Conference Final, guys, we're up against the Washington Capitals. This is an interesting team. They got Duran, Scheifele, Buchnevich on the first line. Tons of traded players actually on this team. You got Buchnevich, who I just mentioned, Garland, Reinhart, McCann. Kind of just, interesting seeing that. Second line there, Garland, Reinhart, Anthony Hughes, pretty solid. Bottom 6, they got Arvidsson as well, who was traded to the Kings. Bottom 6 needs a bit of work. Defensively, it's not bad, but it's not great. There's really no number 1 here. It's okay, though. So goalie, Vasilevsky and net, that's why. They got a great goaltender. Cal Peterson's also a pretty good backup. They actually had a lot of LA Kings players there. So we were better than them in the regular season. We'll see if we can, continue to be better than them in the playoffs. Blake Wheeler there currently has a point per game. What are we? We're 8-4 in the playoffs. They're 8-3. So actually had a better playoff run than we are. We'll just send these first 2 games here at home. 4-3 win, 2-1 OT win. Okay. Keep winning, please. 5-1 loss, not good. Next 2 games, 4-2 loss, 3-2 loss. So we're back to where we were with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Won the first 2 and then lost the next 3 straight. Can we pull this off again? Game number 6. Come on. 0-0. 1-0 for them. We have to win this period to not get eliminated. Wow, that's how we go out. 2-0. Athanasiou gets on a Mrazek. 2 former Red Wings. And we're done the conference final in 6 games. I mean, we had a pretty good run. I thought, after the first round, I'd say, we're actually maybe going to go to the Cup final. Dallas-Washington actually is your Stanley Cup final. We'll just sim a little bit here and see who wins that. Going to Game 7, actually. And the Washington Capitals win the Stanley Cup. So at least we lost the eventual Stanley Cup winner. I think I always say that's what I prefer, because you can basically say didn't matter when we played them, we would have gotten second, whether it was the Stanley Cup final, first round, whatever. And Toronto there wins the draft lottery, jumped from 10-1, and Vancouver jumps from 12-3 with the Winnipeg pick, which they got for trading Gabe Landeskog. That's insane. Landeskog's a really good player, but if you're making that trade, you gotta know you're making the playoffs. So I'll take a look at the playoff tree next year as well as the awards. You can see Washington beat Pittsburgh in the first round in 6, Flyers in 5, us in 6, and Stars in 7. Stars there went through the Wild, Blues, and the Ducks. I am curious a little bit actually about this team's playoff scoring. So Wheeler there, point per game. Weber had 15. I mean, actually he's getting a lot of assists. Draisaitl could have done a little bit better, I think. Same with Gallagher, based on the regular season performance. How did Mrazek do? But 904 and 283. Not amazing, but not terrible either. Really can't, put it on him. So the awards, Stanley Cup, Capitals, Flyers President's Trophy. Unfortunately, no team awards for us. Individual here, McDavid gets the Art Ross, Ovechkin, Hart. Kind of interesting. Yossi, James Norris, back-to-back years. Panarin, Lady Bang, Kaprizov, Calder, Scheifele, Conn Smythe. Saros got the Vezina, very interesting. Kemper, William and Jennings. Dylan there, Bill Masterton. The Canucks coach got the Jack Adams. Wait a minute, that means they must have made the playoffs even after trading away Landeskog. Yeah, they did make the playoffs. They're in the first round, but still. They made the playoffs after trading Landeskog, and they get the 3rd overall pick. Not too bad there by the Canucks. And Couturier, Selke, McDavid, Ted Lindsay, and McCann, Maurice Richard. So yeah, unfortunately no individual or team awards, but still, team did perform pretty well, I thought. Especially, like I said, during the draft, I didn't really have a lot of hope for this team, but they actually outperformed my expectations by a lot. So That was cool to see. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, I'll leave that thumbs up. If you guys are not subscribed yet, hit the sub button. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.